Showing you I love you, cause going out is getting old.
Shalom, brothers and sisters, but this is specifically for the brothers. The word is the Most High's eyes are on you. And that is not necessarily a good thing and not a bad thing, really, but in the effort to really bring across this message, I need y'all to shake off the stiff necked part of it and really listen with your understanding, with your heart. A lot of men like to say, "Oh, well, you can't be a leader if you are show emotion," but that's a lie. If you're over emotional, then that's taking it to a different level. But you have to have that balance in order to feel for your people. The Most High, even in the scripture, he saw some things that was going on, and he repented. Like, he felt sorry for what he did. So he has emotion, and he's above all. When Moses spoke on behalf of Israel, when the Most High was like, "Man, I'm just gonna destroy these stubborn people. They getting on his last nerves." His last nerve. Moses had to, on behalf of Israel, persuade the Most High not to destroy them for their constant disobedience, constant mischief, and ungratefulness. When he took them out of their captivity, he had to say, "Look, Lord, you can't prove the other nations right to make it seem like you took out the Israelites out of their captivity just to go kill them." And he thought about it and he's like, okay, he has an emotion. So, in order for you to be a great leader, you have to have emotion. So take out the nonsense about you can't have, if you don't feel for your people, if you can't feel what's going on and you are just robotic and you're just going through the motions and just reading the scriptures aloud and saying things verbatim and reading things that are in repetition, the Most High says you don't listen to that stuff. You're being just like the heathens. He looks at your heart. Every time we keep stressing that he sees your heart. What is your heart? Your heart is connected to your emotions. It's connected to your mind, your soul, your spirit. It shows who you are. Do you have emotion? Do you have feelings for Israel? Can you see their pain? Can you see their cries? Can you see what they're going through? Because before this, because our people erred, because you weren't thinking about everyone, you were thinking about yourselves. Okay, now before y'all get all, "Oh, don't divide everybody, we all play a part in it." But if we go back in scripture, when it came back and we spoke about Balaam, when it comes to seducing spirits, because in that area and in Revelations, Yahushua to the churches, he mentions the things that are causing stumbling blocks in front of his children, to his children of Israel. Who's he talking to in these churches? Y'all. Israel. Men, women, men. Okay. So if we go into Numbers, you read the story about Balaam. What is Balaam mainly associated with doing? He was the one who was able to be bribed by the king of Moab, Balak, because of the king's desperation to get Israel under a curse so they would not come up against him, because he was scared. He saw the power and the might that came with Israel when they were under the presence of the Most High Yah. They couldn't be defeated as long as they stayed under his protection. They couldn't touch him. No one outside nations could defeat them. But Balaam came up with the idea, because he's like, he's not touching anyone that God bless. He's not doing it. He don't want that on his. He's a he's a sorcerer, false prophet, whatever. But he don't want to have to be the one to be throwing curses on the children of Israel. Because look at what their God just did to Egypt. And Egypt wanted to be all excessive and stuff with their evil. He like flattened them like they were bugs, nothing. So what would he do to little old Balaam trying to put a curse on him? Yeah, and the Most High knew what was going on. He visited Balaam, saw Balaam's heart was wicked, and he was wrought. You gonna touch my people? I'm gonna kill you. And he said, basically, people try to make it look like the Most High, he won't, he's just forgiving and he's loving to his people. When you mess with his people, and even his own people, they cause his people to go astray, you're gonna get it too. So when we look at Balaam came up with in his mind, brilliant idea of how to get Israel to sin, how to get them out of the Most High's blessing so he could successfully curse them. Okay? This is what Satan does all the while too, by accusing the brethren, accusing us, so he can take us out, so he can put wickedness upon us. So they're acting under his influence. Because remember, these other nations were worshiping those other gods, which are basically from the kingdom of darkness. So he came up with that idea. So look, this is the way how it's got to go down, Balak. You got to bring some prostitutes from your women, from Moab, the Moabites and the Midianites, wherever it is, from the other nations, and bring them in and seduce the men. So a lot of y'all men would tell the women that no, they went out first. They went out first. This is the beginning of it, y'all. Okay, this is the beginning when y'all got your freedom, what y'all did. So they would some Edomite guy and his concubine, mixed woman. They call that, when I forgot what the name of it is. Don't really matter to me, but they were saying that was the black woman that went out first. No, no. If y'all are studying your scriptures, if y'all are holding yourselves accountable, which is important, because if you are and you keep telling lies and you are not taking responsibility for yourself, which we talked about Adam and Adam's ways back in Genesis, how when he sinned. Yes, he did. It wasn't a woman who put the apple or the temptation in his mouth, because it was Genesis is the first temptation and Revelations is the last temptation of who will you choose, right? So what did Adam do? When the Most High came around and asked them what happened, what did Adam do? He blamed the woman and he blamed God for giving him the woman. So he did a double whammy right there. He never mentioned how he was weak and he decided to go ahead and disobey the Most High and give power to a lesser being, because that's what you do. Anytime you go and obey these other nations, or other idols other than the Most High, you take away the power that he's given you and you give it to someone else to have power over you. That's why you are in captivity right now. This is why you can't break free. This is why every time you think you're getting somewhere, you suddenly realize, wait a minute, I'm still where I'm at, because we keep going in circles because y'all are not learning. Stiff-necked, stubborn, not learning. You would rather blame Tom, Dick, Harry. That's why even when I said the strong delusion is there, because first temptation, Genesis, from the Garden of Eden to the last temptation in Revelations. Right? The snake was sin there. Okay, it all happened. Let's see. Who would they choose? Are they going to choose to listen to the snake? Or are they going to choose another? Or are they going to choose me? Willful disobedience. He went and he blamed, and the woman did the same too, but she blamed the serpent. They didn't take accountability for their actions at all. But the man who was made first, and he was given the first law, commandment, that they should not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And he went ahead and he did it. As a man, being the first, a lot of y'all like to puff up your chest and be like, I am man. You should have been the one, Adam, to run the snake. Say, gone from here. We're not participating in that. You're not our God. Stand up for the Most High. Obey him. Say, he told me not to do so and so, and I'm not doing it. Okay? And admonished the woman, no, 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 no. You're not participating in this sin either. Give him back. But he didn't. He curved. And now a lot of them like to say, oh, well, the woman in her feminine wiles. No, he had a choice. He wasn't even in sin then. He had a choice. He had dominion over all these things. The Most High gave him the power of choice. It was stronger than that. He was a little bit under the angels. There was no excuse. He showed weakness. When you're showing weakness, you show weakness by denying your original power source, and then you give it to a counterfeit. A counterfeit that can't do nothing for you. Broken cistern. Dead, powerless gods. Because the Most High already said they're defeated. And you're giving your power to defeated gods. Oh, when he defeated them. Like the Israelites gave the Egyptians and their gods back power when they started rebuilding them, burning their gold and all that to build calves again, and worshiping them, despite the fact the Most High just did all they did. Those calves didn't bring them out of Egypt. Those golden things, those dead things didn't bring them out of Egypt. All along, they saw the Egyptians doing what they did, and the Most High showed up and showed out, and none of those dead things could come up against him, yet they didn't understand. It's your understanding. He can explain it to you. I can explain it to you. The Bible it's an open book test. And he gives you all the answers in it. Open it and read it. Open your understanding. If you don't have wisdom, pray for wisdom. Because you're doing the same thing that y'all have been doing before. And instead of taking accountability for your participation in the sins that are happening, you want to blame the woman, you want to blame the dog, you want to blame the cat, you want to blame the strong delusion, you want to blame the lie. No, it's about you. Balaam managed to seduce you. He managed to find your weakness, woman. And now don't get it twisted. See, Eve, definitely, women, we have strong persuasive powers, strong persuasive abilities, I should say. And Eve had that ability to persuade him to be like, you know what? No, we're not going to do this. No, we're going to shake up out of this. Or to do bad. She used it in the wrong way. Okay, she did. But in the larger spectrum of things, it is your choice. Nobody put a chain. He had the freedom. Nobody put a chain over him. Nobody took the apple or the temptation and stuck it down his throat. He had free will. What you gonna do? Who you gonna choose? Are you gonna stand up and obey your original power source and not sink the whole all your descendants down into oblivion? You're gonna set the first example. That was it for him, to set the first example of how the rest of man would end up. They were the originals. Based on what they did, it would set the course for everything else. So based on Adam's response and Eve's, now you see what's going on. Down to when the Israelites came from under the blessing once again, decided to what? Obey lesser gods. Yes, these women, these heathen women from these other places where he said fornicating. If you read the scripture, what happened? They went lured by these other women out of the blessing of the Most High. That is what kept them going. The Balaam and these wicked people, they realized. How do you let them get from under the blessing? A woman. Use our women and lure them out. You know, dangle the carrot in front of them. Looky, look. You know, a hair swoop there, a shimmy here. You know, a little swerve of the hips, a little flattery, blink of the eye, lick of the lips, something, whatever. But it's always your choice to be like, it's not even worth it. All of man and the outcome of what would happen to us was based on how Adam handled the temptation. And it tells a lot about the first Adam to the second Adam. Second Adam came, he did what he had to do. He didn't allow temptation to get him. When Satan tried to say him, he would give him the world. He said, he passed that test. He was the living word. He came, he did what he had to do, and he's coming back again very soon. Y'all need to get it together. Stop coming up against the women the way that you all do. The perfect helpmate the Most High made in his image, which is your image, and you want to have incontinence. You can't have enough. You want what the other heathen men are dangling in front of you. They've been dangling this carrot in front of their little witchcraft TV and a little witchcraft media, and you're over there like, yeah, okay, a little competition. I'ma show I could get their women too. Gluttony, greed, lustfulness, this sin that took us from underneath the Most High's blessing. And if a lot of y'all don't want to believe it, go into the scripture. A lot of y'all claim to be Bible thumpers. You prove a woman wrong. Prove me. I mean, if because a lot of y'all would rather be stiff-necked and look at the fact that, oh, this is a woman, than listen to the message. The Most High has his eyes on you, men. Based on Adam's decision, that's how everything else would have actually turned out based on his decision. Most High could have got him another helpmate. Everybody don't have to go down. But both of them chose to. And then he turned on the Most High. He couldn't even see the error of his ways. How did you participate in bringing sin into the world, Adam? That's what you should have been like. Well, it was, I did it. And I'm sorry. No remorse. No remorse. He just went ahead and just blamed. And a lot of our men are the same way today. From Ahab to Jezebel, from how the Israelites kept going. What do you think they're going to when they're coming out of these nations? Women. The women enticed them. Got them to be sacrificing themselves to other. This is why they wanted to go form covenants with other heathens. What about a man per se? They wanted their women. Not have enough. The Most High gave you your perfect helpmate. A woman who was as holy as you are in your Israelite nation. And you want to go out for lesser things. Because you don't know what you have. You would rather talk down to them. There's some who, even in their way of building up the woman, they'll be like, well, I don't like the fact that her hair is straight. But I love my women with that. No, stop it. Just shut up. Don't. Because if you appreciated her image, this would not have gone left. She will not be going to other nations. She's on there crying out. So all of y'all talking about, no, you don't need emotions. Well, without emotions, you can't see the people suffering. So you can stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about the whole. Because not only one person didn't go down for this. All of us did. When you start understanding that concept, then you will start thinking not like a mind of man, but like the mind of Yahushua. He thought about the whole. Even when the Jews came up against him, his own people came up against him, his own bride came up against him. What did he do? He said, forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. But our men today are in a state of, they gotta be right. They got to be right. That pride of their heart is so built up. When I made that video about he sees the righteous and the humble, a lot of y'all don't understand what pride is. When you have to be right, you got to be above. In the Revelations, Yahushua said he hates the Nicolaitans. That pride of being right, of being above someone to oppress someone else, that is what he hates. That is why he's talked about with the church of Ephesus. He's talking to y'all in these churches. When he talks about the doctrine of Balaam, you all are putting stumbling blocks back in the way of Israel. When the women go out to these other heathen nations thinking that they can find better elsewhere instead of in our own men. And then you go out and cuss them out. Instead of seeing the error of your ways, what did you do? What did you not do? You go and you argue with them, but you don't realize, how did this all start? Y'all kept going to these other women, and then you say, no, it's not our fault. Yes, society has something to do with it too, but if you saw beauty in your woman and not these other false idols, the strong delusion that is put over you that keeps y'all in that captive mind state, then they wouldn't have to be doing the things they would do. That woman was made to be your helpmate. It was both of you, two of you, that was made in order to spread and make Israel who it is. If y'all think that how you are treating the women is the way to be, you are not truly transformed to that of Yahushua. Because if you see how Yahushua treats his bride, the bride of his people, how Yahuwah did, he cherished his people so much that he still hasn't given them up. This Bible right here, this here, y'all, this right here, this book is a romance novel for y'all of the love of the Most High, the unending, undying, incomparable love of the Most High. But y'all don't get it. You still over there cussing out the woman. Well, that's not about me. I don't do this. Oh, well, she did it on her own. Come on, man. That's going back to the first Adam. That sunk the world into what we are right now. He didn't make a choice. He didn't take accountability for his actions. He didn't see, we are all in sin. Ain't nobody perfect but the most high son that walked on this planet. And even then, we still denied them because we were in our sinful ways. His eyes are on you. How you choose to go about leading the flock, how you choose to react, is determining our fate. You don't want that on you? Well, tough cookie. But it is what it is. His eyes are on you, the men. In Hosea 4 verse 14, what did he say? I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that doth not understand shall fall. Thou, though Israel play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend. Judah is that battle cry. That cry for, they have to see when it's time to send the praises up, that it's time to go into war. These people are back up to their nonsense again. Most High, we need you to make a movement on them. We need y'all to make a move. We need to see your hand. We need to clear away some things, because Judah can't be the ones to have the flaps over their eyes, because they can't see for when it understand for when it comes time for the Most High to deliver his people. They got to go out first. He said, for Israel slided back as backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour, they have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love, give ye. He's talking to y'all. So every time it's despicable and it's sad, it's heart-wrenching. You have to be emotional to understand the pain that is going on amongst us when you can't even love yourself enough to realize that the Most High made you the perfect helpmate, the perfect one. He made her holy as well. He didn't just make you holy. He made both of you holy. He treasures both of you. Not, oh, I'm going to treasure the woman and leave the man, or vice versa. Both of you. So when you go out into other unholy territory and whore along with other heathen nations and then try to bring them in, that's you. You're the one that's tarnishing everything. These men, the whole sin that was happening was because the men were being lured by the women. They don't figured it out even today. It's still happening because there's nothing new under the sun. It's still in rotation because you're still not learning. This is a whole learning period. This is the whole testing period. The first temptation, Adam failed. We're still failing right now. The second Adam had to. He had no choice but to win. And he's going to win again in Revelation. Are you going to win with him? Or are you going to continue in your prideful wicked ways, lack of responsibility, lack of accountability, stiff-necked, can't look right, can't look left, can't think into, oh, well, maybe let me think a little deeper. Maybe there is some truth to this. Maybe I should go to the Most High and pray and discern about the spirits. You think you're right. You're thumping the Bible all day, every day. That does not make you any more righteous if you're not understanding what it's truly saying. It's explaining to you, but if you don't understand it, then it's not going to help you. That's why when the Most High said that the Edomites have no understanding, that's the biggest thing. They might be able to thump the Bible all day. They might be able to give you book knowledge all day. But if they don't have no understanding of what is really what they're doing, then it's going to be like falling on deaf ears. It's basically falling on deaf ears. If they don't have the emotion. So when these other camps come and they talk about you can't have emotion. The Most High has emotion. It's all he has. Or else why would he look on your heart? Why is he seeing your heart? They're looking, when the world looks at you, they look at your outer man. He looks at your inner man. That's your emotion, your feeling. Who are you really? Because based on what you have inside, that will tell who you truly are. You can be empty and black. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean in darkness. In your insides, while your outside is glorious and beautiful and pretty, and you put on your little mask on, you put on your little whatever for the world, but inside you are being eaten out, rotten to the core. Only emotion, if you don't have the feeling or the heart for the people, and that's what Judah has as well. You have to have a heart for the people. Judah, Benjamin, all of them, Joseph, Levi, Gad, everyone. You have to have the heart to see what's going on around you instead of this rigid, militant stance. Look, woman, I am man, you are woman. That will understand. You will sit and listen. No one's gonna listen to you. You don't show that you care for someone. They don't want to hear it. Like, you don't care for me, I'm just gonna go about my business. And then the women go out to these other nations because they're like, we're not getting love, we're not getting appreciated here. And then you go and then you add more insult to injury and cuss her out. Now, I'm not talking about every woman. I'm talking about those, because if you really understood and you were listening to the heart of your people, you would see them crying out. There are women out there who are saying that they don't want to go to other nations, but you push them to that limit. They don't want to go, but they don't want to be alone. Your sins are reaching into heaven, and the Most High sees you. He sees you. What are you doing? You being like the first Adam or the second Adam? Will you sacrifice yourself for your people, or will you continuously think about you? Is this all about you? Your lust, what's burning in your groin area? Or your burning heart for your people to come out of this that you have set in motion from the moment that he let you out of Israel? They were going back to these lustful women, flicking that stringy hair, blinking that one recessive eye. Like, the Most High made everything perfect. If he made a woman in your image, looking like you, what you doing running to these others that they done sold out? Yes, they're the original sellouts. They sold out to be put over you. The pale horse, the ones that have been put over the four part of the world to cause hell and death and hell. And you're following, oh, let me just run after Becky real quick. Oh, I got me a prize. When your prize is right before your eyes. It has always been. I'm getting, okay, I don't want to get too over emotional, but when the men come on and they're like, man, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, because then you start finding all kinds of excuses. The women don't appreciate us. You are the man. You're being Adam, or I can't. You're going to continue with this Adam frame of mind. You're not the woman, you're the man. And it takes more than just being dominant, beating up your chest that you are man to show who you really are. The Most High puts you above, not to be a Nicolation where you're dominating by oppression or oppressing people, but that you can see the love Most High to his bride. How does he treat his bride? His Israel. He keeps coming back for them. When we talk about his undying love, his unending love, is that love that won't let him give up. But you keep giving up on your own people by continuing to obey lesser gods, obey outside gods, and disobey your God. You don't understand the power you had until they, the tricky serpentine ones, figured it out. Oh, the woman's persuasion. Yes. Find us some prostitutes. Get us the woman. Put the woman in the way. That's why they said Edomite woman has been the most powerful weapon of your enemy. So as long as they can plant them, they're planting these bombs left, right, and center. Y'all just picking them up like, oh, looky here. It's cute. Oh, let me bring it home. I think someone told a story about the snake. The woman or a man, somebody found a snake, and the snake was like half dead. And they went and they took care of the snake. I know some of y'all have heard this before. And the snake came back to health. And then afterwards, the snake went ahead and bit this person. And the person was like, but I took care of you. You know, I helped you. And the snake said, you knew I was a snake. So they do what's in their nature. So a lot of y'all are so hooked on looks, outward. You still have not gotten the mind of Yahushua. You're still not ascending. You're still in that descension process. Descending you straight down to where they're descending to. You want to prove yourselves to be really for the Most High? Then what is he? Most High. Ascended. You need to get up out of your dissension. Get up out of that low thinking of you think that the way the world is a strong delusion, and which is why a lot of y'all continue to believe the lie that will be sent as a result of the strong delusion put on you, the pale horse. You're going to continue in that state of mind that's going to carry you down and those other people under you are under your influence as well. You're going to be responsible for a lot of lives. Take responsibility, and you're going to have to either step up to the plate or step back and let somebody else do it. Okay? You're not listening to the people. You're not seeing what Israel has been saying to you. They are speaking, but are you listening? Their hearts are crying out, but are you feeling what they're saying to you? See, that's why you are the Most High, apple of his eye. You're the apple of his eye. You are most like him. So if you don't understand how emotion connects with you understanding how unity is a necessity, then you are out of line. You're constantly going to go out of line unless you start understanding. Stop blaming the woman. Stop blaming God. Stop blaming the nature and the strong delusions and all this. It's you. You were given precedence over the woman after sin. At first, she was your helpmate side to side. You were supposed to help each other. You wouldn't help her then either. You went along with it. And then instead of just coming straight forward with it, y'all are still doing this bobbing and weaving, hiding and creeping. It's not doing you anything. You have to be upfront and honest. You got to be open. And by that, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a true transformed mind, spiritually transformed mind to understand what the Most High has been trying to show you. The bride, you know how he calls them women. It is the epitome of how he wants to see. He's the man, and how he treats your woman, the importance of the woman in the whole scheme of everything. She has a grand purpose, and so do you. Are you going to keep on? The Most High never left his bride to go for these wanton brides, these other heathens. He stayed with his that he has the contract, the covenant with. He don't break it. He don't look outside. He is for his people. He made that covenant with her, Israel, you, the woman, and he takes care of her. Because that's the covenant that he has. He's not going to keep on trying to blame the woman. Well, she did get pregnant. Excuse me, it takes two to tango. You had something to do with that? I'm not talking about the ones that when a man is not in the home, and people say, yeah, slavery was a part of it, but before slavery, this had been going on. Been going a wantoness to other nations. And hence why we kept losing our protection. So, the Most High's got his eyes on you, Israel. Men, brothers. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Humble yourself. See things the way he wants you to see them. See them through his eyes. Examine the heart, your heart and the heart of your people. If you really want to be leaders, if you really are the leaders that you say you are, then it takes more than just being, I am man. Hear me roar. It takes more than just that. When he made Adam, he made him in his image, in his likeness, to be a leader. You woman, bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. Are you going to keep denying the Most High by basically telling him that what he gave you is not good enough? The incontinent spirit. You got to get more. You got to go out to these other nations and you got to keep going for other false idols, because what he gave you in the image that is you keep telling him that you're not perfect. You didn't create a perfect woman for me. The other heathens that sold their soul in order to get the world right now, you join onto them willfully and you get the world all right, and everything else is coming with them. Hear ye, he who has understanding, understand. He who has a hearing to hear and wisdom, you know what to do. With that, shalom, and think deep thoughts.